Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, agents. I am Mountie Curl, and you are listening to a Let's Talk. In today's Let's Talk, we're going to veer off the opinion script and go with a more detailed approach. We're going to be reviewing Intelligence Annex number 11 to give you all of the factual information for the underground expansion that is coming June 28th. That's right, June 28th, just a couple weeks away. So let's go ahead and dive into the Intelligence Annex. I will leave a note down below in the description so you can go ahead and link to it and kind of follow along with where we're going. So let's get rolling into this. In our previous Intelligence Annex, we meaning Ubisoft, Ubisoft explored all the changes that were coming to the open world, Columbus Circle, Clear Sky, the Dark Zone, and now it's time to see what happens when you dive into the underbelly of New York City, which is the underground expansion. The next update, the underground expansion, literally brings a new layer of depth to the division. You will dive into the unexplored territories beneath New York, not knowing what to expect or even if you'll make it out. The treacherous, hostile, and claustrophobic mazes you will battle your way through present an all-new threat and challenge to you. You get all the best details that they have pulled aside. Game director Giles Matubo from Reflections, the lead studio behind Underground, so let's get into it. Anyways, so really quickly, Reflections, this is not being done by Massive apparently, this is being done by a outside studio called Reflections, which makes a lot of sense because what's going on is Massive is probably still working on the game, so they probably farm this out to Reflections, which is great because it gives a little bit of a different spin on it, and who knows what's going to happen. So if this is a terrible update, then we can blame Reflections and not Massive. So I have a feeling this is going to be one of the greatest updates to ever reach the division. So let's go ahead and talk about the story. A devastating attack has been carried out on the secure quarantine center that has left dozens of civilians dead, with crucial GPS information extracted from a mobile phone that was taken off one of the attackers. Paul Rhodes, the man who has shit to do and can't talk right now, was able to pinpoint their hideout. Well, at least we know what Paul Rhodes was doing. Once entering the underground area, the agents quickly realized that these leaderless and fractured new groups are rising to power and are dangerous as ever. Well, now that we have a basic story, we know that we've kind of realized that this new underground movement is kind of our fault because we went around and killed all the leaders. So now there's all these leaderless factions running around. So we kind of did this to ourselves. So during this time, the factions have been infesting the underground to regroup and plan a new wave of deadly attacks on the city. It's our job to head down there and take this back. I hope they mean the underground, because we already took back the city. So anyways, the underground is also bringing a completely new area to the base of operations called the terminal. It will have a very similar capability that currently exists in the base of operations already, such as crafting tables, stash, matchmaking hub, high-value targets, NPCs, and vendors. There's no talk in the annex about whether it will be the same HVTs or there will be HVTs specific to the underground. No word on that. So in addition, it will also have a social space similar to safe houses and the Hudson Bay Hub, and you'll be able to fast travel directly to it. So that is great news because you can't directly go into the base of operations, so this is a place that you can go directly into, which I assume it's going to be either somewhere close to the base of operations as they hint at, or somewhere else. I didn't really get to see when I was at E3. By the way, I'm back from E3 and I'm still making a video. So hopefully this underground video will help you get some more factual evidence, because all we could do was speculate as to what we saw when we were playing the game. Anyways, Paul Rhodes has also been hard at work expanding our capabilities by building a tactical operations center. Honestly, Paul Rhodes, you've been doing so much stuff, and all I do is see you sitting at your desk when I go into the base of operations. Where do you find the time, brother? Where do you find the time? I mean, who's doing all this work? I mean, you are, apparently. Anyways, in the terminal, there will be an entrance to the underground area that will take you on an elevator ride down to the Tactical Operations Center. All the technology, infrastructure, logistics that will assist you in the underground is located there. this is where New Vendor's Underground Operation Panel and the NPCs can be found. So this is great. So we're going to get a tactical operations center and really just a whole new base of operations that we can hang out in with our friends and our groups. And you can go ahead and matchmake if you're solo or something like that. So no need to worry about that there. So let's go ahead. Everything is out to get you if you're following along with the Intelligence Annex. The underground areas of Manhattan are a large maze of tunnels and rooms, kind of like they are in real life. To create the experience of truly unexplored and unique areas, Ubisoft Massive Reflections, they have made tools that allow them to randomly create layouts for each level. Underground is all about replayability, and thanks to the sheer amount of level combinations that they can have, it will be a rare encounter that you see the same level twice. And that's described from Giles Manitobo. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. These levels will take around 20 to 40 minutes depending on how many phases you go through, and it's going to be action-packed combat in dense, unpredictable areas filled with hazards and traps. The environment itself is dangerous. You will need to be on your toes at all times because it can reach out and bite you in the ass anytime. Traps are triggered by stepping into their proximity, and you'll come across a few traps that you've encountered before on the streets of New York, like explosives, chemicals, and shock traps. And in addition to these, there will be new traps like blinder traps, electrical wires that shock players, blinder traps, strong floodlights that pop up and disorient the players. But there's also environmental hazards that you need to avoid. I'm sure the enemies aren't needing to avoid these, but you will. So electrical wires that shock players on contact, fractured gas pipes that spew jets of fire across passageways like we've already seen, oil puddles that can cause large fires, which will be cool. Hopefully there will be a way that you can set those on fire, like throwing a incendiary grenade or something like that to set those on fire. And heavy virus zones, which I assume you will not be able to get into, or it'll be sectioned off, so you can't go that way. Sometimes you won't be able to simply go around these. It will be up to you to find solutions to disable the traps before you can move forward. Finally, enemies have also gotten their hands on a few new toys that you will need to keep your eyes out for, like alarm panels. I don't really get the alarm panel thing. Nobody's going down there and performing electrical wiring and putting in and installing video cameras and alarm panels and stuff like that. It just doesn't seem very realistic, but it's the Division, so who knows? They may have tons of electronic capabilities. You know, the Rikers, they've been in prison for so long. You got some electrical engineers or something like that. And also skill jammers that disrupt you, they block your skills and corrupt your HUD. And I saw these while we were playing. A lot of these definitely work against you. They do not affect the enemies, at least that I could see. So it's kind of, take it what you will. Anyways, if you miss any of these, you could find yourself severely injured. The stakes are raised and you always have a choice to make. Do you brute force your way forward, or do you take out the enemies first and do a tactical approach the situation, or deal with the hazard first? So there's going to be hazards and you're going to need to deal with them. Let's move right along because I didn't cover this next section in the last video because we didn't really have a list of all the stuff. They weren't giving out pamphlets as to, Ubisoft devs weren't handing out, these pamphlets to people that had all of the details of the underground. So I'm sure that they were waiting to give you the annex. So let's go ahead and we'll be fighting towards overall objectives in each underground operation, and they are right here in this next section. So target of opportunity, a dangerous enemy is gathering strength, and we need to put an end to them before they can really rally others to their cause. Surgical strike, an opportunity has presented itself. Multiple leaders have gathered to discuss strategy in the underground location. Eliminate them before they have a chance to disappear again. So this is actually a cool one. So you get to go in and there will be multiple bosses in an area and you basically got to kill them. Hopefully they kind of stay true to this. I didn't see it. There was a surgical strike that I got to play, but I didn't get to play the last phase of it. So I don't know if the last room had multiple bosses that were meeting with each other. It'd be cool if they were all sitting in a room kind of unprepared and you had to fight your way in and then you had to kill all the bosses inside. That would be cool. I think it's going to be like a boss at the end of each wave, and it's not really going to be, going in and breaking up a meeting or anything. Anyways, recover the report. A JTF squad has gone missing, as always. It's up to you to find the squad and recover the intel, and read that as it's not a rescue mission, it is a recovery mission. So the JTF squad, like most of the JTF squads, have gone down to where only Division agents should have gone, and they got killed. And so let's go ahead. Missing patrol. A JTF squad has gone dark, and we need to head to their last known GPS location and bring them back safely. This sounds like an escort mission. It sounds pretty cool. It's the first time we'll be able to get to see like an escort mission where it's not doing the same thing. Hopefully you have to bring them back alive. That would be pretty cool. And then we have a critical infrastructure mission, which there's critical infrastructures that are being threatened under the streets of Manhattan, and we need to protect it from the hostile enemy group. So I would think that there's like a water plant or something very similar to what we've already done. And then this next section, which goes through the difficulties, so there's going to be normal mode, hard mode, challenge mode, and heroic mode. And heroic mode is a new difficulty they are introducing to truly test your limits and skills. And they don't really detail what is in heroic mode, but talking with the devs, it's basically just a ton of enemies coming at you, probably all armed with shotguns from what we've seen in the game already. And then there's phases, so you get to select the number of objectives in an operation, and therefore the overall length as well. And each phase allows you to get new rewards. There's going to be directives, which is another layer of difficulty that adds unique mechanics to the operation. You can also select a combination or all of the following, which I'm not going to go through these. If you're following along, you can go ahead and read them for yourself, or you can go back to my last video where I kind of went over these in detail. Now, with great challenge comes great rewards, and they are introducing a new progression system. There will be 30 levels in this progression system, and it will be in the underground operation. Giles explains that the new underground experience will give you access to directives and award you with the right to purchase exclusive gear and blueprints in the Tactical Operations Center. So the more you level up, the more access you have to cool gear and stuff like that. And they will, when you hit level 30, I'm sure you'll have access to a lot of this stuff. And this is gained through killing enemies and completing operations of any difficulty. The new currency directive intel is also gained by killing enemies in the underground and completing operations. Now, we were told that this new directive intel was kind of the same intel as the stuff that we're doing right now for HVTs, but this here makes it sound different. So don't hold your breath that there's going to be a different kind of intel that you can just do some seek and destroy missions and then go down and use the intel that you gain through those. Let's go ahead and assume for right now that these are two separate things and that is not the same thing. So as we suggested before, because we had talked about intel, and now it looks like there's going to be separate intel, which is fine. I don't mind that there's different intel, because different intel leads to different things. It would be cool if you went and got intel, and that intel was directed toward a certain thing where you get like 5 fog of war intel or something like that, where it was split up. And you could use it toward that, but let's just go ahead. It's going to be general intel and stuff like that. So naturally, as you rank up, you can configure operations in more ways and gain access to exclusive gear and blueprints that are sold at the Tactical Operations Center through the assistance of Paul Rhodes. Now you can test yourself for the ultimate challenge and rewards. The underground opens up a completely new environment for you to explore, challenge, and conquer, and an all-new story for Manhattan. We cannot wait to get our hands on this. It's only a couple weeks away, maybe less, depending on what day you are looking at this. So as far as things go, this has been a great Intelligence Annex. It was very cool for the Ubisoft guys to let me in. I was not invited to the Ubisoft, by Ubisoft to E3. I went on my own because I have a lot of friends there, and Ubisoft was nice enough to let me into the play area and kind of play and do some stuff in there and talk with some of the developers. And I know that I've been a harsh critic, and a lot of people have called me out, and it was true. Somebody wrote in the comments that they said, Mounty Carl, you complain about all these Ubisoft games, but they have provided you with hours of entertainment. And that is true. I complain about these games because I love them so much, and I think Ubisoft is a great publisher of games. The problem is they really don't, for my liking, put enough emphasis on making sure that things work before they're released. And that, what you hear a lot in my being upset is I don't want to dictate the truth. So if I'm not invited to an Ubisoft thing, or mainly like right now, it's because I don't have enough subscribers. I probably have at the time of this like 50 or something like that. And I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to do a video every day and trying to get more subscribers and get some of you guys who really enjoy my Division videos on board, and tell your friends out there and get them to subscribe. And maybe one day Ubisoft will invite me down to have a look at something new, and you'll get the information here first. But until then, there's Skill Up and Eric's and those guys who are getting invited to these things. And if you're over in France, there's Morgan. I don't know how to really say her name, but sorry about that. Eventually, I think really, there is a positivity that I really need to kind of change things. But I am not going to stop telling you guys the truth and how I feel and how this game is. There's a certain light and dark aspect of things, and not every game is going to be the best. Not every game is going to be the worst. And The Division is definitely far from the worst game ever. There are a few things that were very crippling at the beginning. The amount of bugs and the amount of speed at which they took to fix them was kind of detrimental, but they have kind of reversed that by allowing you to get 240 gear almost anywhere this day, so you aren't behind the 8-ball anymore, and there's no excuse. So, and then I post a lot of glitches and stuff to my channel for the Division, and for those of you who don't like glitches, I apologize for that, but it's not ruining the game if I don't post them, and I have a small channel. So my posting these glitches, it's not reaching the massive. You need to go and complain on these large channels who are using these glitches for views and stuff like that, to really get out there. I'm just trying to keep an informative information for the community and do a public service to a smaller group of people who really appreciate a more one-on-one approach to this. But, there are people out there that, they have huge YouTube channel followings like Triton, Eric's, those are huge YouTubers. Not super huge, they're not PewDiePie, but they're doing a community service. We're going out there, we're finding these glitches, and in all honesty, Massive isn't going to know about them unless we're posting about them. And the more that we post about them, the more they get some notoriety, and they see, Massive sees how quickly they need to be fixed. Believe me, I have tons of video of tons of different bugs that I can post, and I might just do a video on a whole bunch of bugs, but that's neither here nor there. I'm probably going to run out of time here pretty soon. I want to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching my videos and supporting my channel. Hopefully one day Ubisoft will recognize me as a community channel and invite me to some of their stuff, and I will try to be a little bit more positive about your games. But in the end, it's really about truth and what the people want. So if people want to know that the Division sucks, I'm not going to pull any punches when I call it, but right now I'm looking forward to the Underground. I'm really looking forward to things. I'm looking forward to bringing you more details, running you through gameplay and stuff like that. And I'm really excited about the Underground. I think it's going to turn things around and really bring this game back to the forefront of the community. And hopefully a lot of people that quit will come back because the Underground is so new. And so thank you out there to everybody that's really supported me in my being able to bring you the truth and not really bow down to any pressures. I'm not emboldened to Ubisoft to report on a positive note. I am emboldened to the community of gamers that I support and bringing you the truth and how I feel about the game. So anyways, I've been Mounty Carl. That's been my time. Thank you so much again. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, please leave a like and feel free to subscribe for up-to-date news and me bringing you more truth and rant. I should have another video up today, so stick with me and we will see you next time. This video, so the videos that you've been watching are last night's HVTs, so I just wanted to let you know that. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and I do like Predator. I think that's a cool name. So cool. Anyways, thanks for watching. Agent out.